So if you think about it, the only way to break down silos, open lines of communication, and make gains on speed and quality is through a brand new way of working. We're not just talking about tools here, but also best practices and a cultural shift to experiment and share information between teams. This is the catalyst for the movement we call DevOps. Now, for many of you here, you might be familiar with the term DevOps, so let's level set to understand what it is exactly. DevOps is a culture where dev and ops collaborate to build a faster, more reliable release pipeline. You'll often see this manifest with changes to the software delivery pipeline and infrastructure. And DevOps is underpinned by three principles made popular by Gene Kim's 3 ways. First, there's flow, or in other words, how to make work visible across groups, limit work in progress, and reduce handoffs. It's about resisting the urge to blindly throw work items over the fence to someone who has no context. Secondly, it's about amplifying feedback. Aim for fast feedback, catching failures before they make it downstream. When incidents do happen, swarm across all stakeholders to resolve. Finally, there's continuous experimentation. Create a culture of learning, where taking risks and learning from failure is viewed as a step forward. Daily work becomes better through constant experimentation and open-mindedness. And it takes a team. DevOps is not just one person's job, it's everyone's job. Compare this to a traditional enterprise model where dev and ops teams sit on opposite sides of the fence. It's a complete culture shift, a decision to be more transparent, understanding, and cooperative. Take a look at this quote here from Amazon, who is a leader in practicing DevOps for enterprise. Run what you build is one result of DevOps. In a traditional scenario, dev teams engineer a solution and then hand it over to ops to deal with production issues. When things break, the ops team aren't always equipped to deal with the fix, and it's a mad scramble to address the issue. When both dev and ops teams come together, you end up sharing responsibility, having greater transparency and accountability. This is a great way to get dev and ops teams together on a singular vision, especially if you've noticed friction between these teams. Take a look at the results of what DevOps teams are achieving. What you see here is a strong correlation between practicing DevOps and delivering value. Teams spend more time on R&D than working on unplanned work or rework. Take, for example, 24 times faster recoveries from failure. That can be the difference between 5 nines and 4 nines. For those not familiar, 99.999 refers to a desired percentage of availability of a given computer system. Such a system would probably have what some refer to as high availability. All of these things add up to more frequent deployments and at better quality. With each deployment, there are less bugs and a faster time to recovery from the bugs that do make it out. And guess what? As a result, infrastructure is not on fire anymore. These insights and more can be found in the State of DevOps report by Puppet Labs, a fantastic piece of research with insights from over 20,000 software and IT professionals. The survey for 2017 is currently underway and should be available sometime this summer. Now compare this to past reports, and it's easy to see that teams are continuing to get added value from adopting a DevOps culture. And as dev and ops teams free themselves from downtime and rework, they now have a lot more time on their hands to devote to achieving greater business results. So with this newfound engineering time, what does this mean for engineering teams? For starters, teams can now experiment more, learn from successes, and roll out the results of these experiments to new markets. Next, DevOps maximizes automation of quality and testing activities, which means teams can now achieve greater speed in deploying features. And ultimately, this results in faster time to market for your organization. Using the time recovered from excess rework and downtime can be used to develop new products and features or implement process improvements, giving your organization a competitive edge. And while companies like Netflix or Amazon are often mentioned when it comes to DevOps, and some of you might want to hear how to do 100 releases per day or 50 million deployments per year, not every one of you can or want to do that. What's important to remember is that Netflix and Amazon did not get there overnight. Which brings us to the question that I get asked most often. Where do we begin with DevOps? Or what's the best way to get started?